This is a Sanyo ROBO for curious kids, 1988, an 80s alarm clock for children. Let's get right into it and I'll show you how it works. Basically, this button, when pressed, has a digital voice that will tell you what time it is or what time the alarm is set. This dial, when turned, sets the alarm time you want it to go off. It does work in 30-minute increments, so 6, 6:30, 7, 7:30, etc. If we look on the bottom, behind this cap is where 2 AA batteries are stored. It says that it's Sanyo model number ROBO 02, requires 2 AA batteries, dated 1988, made in Japan. There are 4 little pegs that allow the clock to sit steady on a table. Let's turn the clock and see what we've got. On this side of the panels, the blue and the yellow panels, we have the black screw locks. Basically, a quarter inserted here, counterclockwise to the left, will release these caps. This is also true for this side. On the back of the clock, you have a small little speaker. Let's center that a little bit. You have a small little speaker. You have the off, low, and high alarm sound. Let's go to the front, and we'll press the button and see what she sounds like.
It's 1 a.m.
Right now, it's set to a default from when I pulled out the batteries. I'll show you how to reset the time. If you change the time to the alarm time you want it to go off, and you turn the alarm on.
The alarm is set for 7.
There you go. And you don't have to do anything after that. You can just turn the knob and
The alarm is set for 7:30.
the alarm clock will know. It's a pretty smart little gadget. Let me turn that off or it'll keep going off. So let's talk about accessing the batteries. To access the batteries, you'll need to remove this red door here, and you do that with a quarter. Basically, insert quarter counterclockwise to the left, and we'll remove that. And if you notice, this is where you set the time. You press here for hour, minute, and clear. Now, I used a toothpick very gently. Just press in here.
2 a.m. 3 a.m.
And you'll do this until you get to the time that you want. And this is what minute sounds
Pole
like.
2. Pole 3. Pole 4.
And if you hit clear, then it'll
1 a.m.
start again. So let's set the
2,
time.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 p.m.
See, it also will tell you when it's PM, so you know that you're setting the time right. Let's go through these other compartments because I really need you to see them. All of these compartments do remove, and we'll set that aside. And if you'll bear with me just 1 second, I'll get these other ones done real quickly. We'll set that aside, and we'll set that aside. Let's set the alarm back up so that you can see. Now, if you remember, this is the front of the clock. If we turn, this is where you set the time. This is the back of the clock to turn the alarm on and off. This one has nothing. So if you notice that by removing these compartments, it gives you access to setting the time, but down here on the bottom, there is a little place you can press, and it's a release. When you press this release and turn the cap at the same time, it'll release the cap. So let's do that. Press here, turn here, counterclockwise, and you'll notice that the batteries are inside. Let's remove the batteries. Now, the cap, let's talk about that. The cap is made up of 3 teeth. I'm going to try to zoom in so that you can see this. The cap is made up of 3 teeth. Let's see, there's 1, 2, and down here there should be a 3rd tooth. I'm going to turn this so you can get a better look at it. There should be a 3rd tooth right there. That tooth is missing, but it does not interfere with the workings of the clock. It still works. So to load the batteries, we basically just look at the instructions. Let me zoom out. Alright, and so this one will go down, this will go up. Now, when putting this little cap back on, the only trick I could tell you is you line up the teeth, and as long as the word Sanyo is facing up, see where the yellow knob is, so facing in that direction, you can line these little teeth up. Let me see. Oh, there we go. I'm not very good at this. Let me try with my right hand.
It's 12:02 p.m.
Ah.
Let's have lunch.
She does talk and give suggestions. I've heard her say, let's have lunch. It's time to play. She also plays music. It's a small world after all, and the Mickey Mouse song, the M-I-C-K-E-Y, when the alarm goes off, it does do that. Let's tell it that, let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m.
And
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 8 p.m., 9 p.m.
so I've set the time to be 9:30.
30, 35, 36, 30, 40, 1 a.m., 01,
I just want to set the time so you can hear the alarm.
15, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, 22, 20, 20, 26, 27, 28, 29.
There. And hopefully, when it is 1:30, we'll hear the alarm go off. In the meantime, let's put this all back together. Now, mind you, all of these can be put in different order. Like, for example, when we first started, the red was here, but you can put it in any order that you want. So let me just do that real quick. Here in front. See if we can get it lined up and press the button.
It's 1:29 a.m.
And hopefully we'll see it go off here at 1:30. What else can I tell you about it? It's not very big. It only measures approximately 4 inches across. But if you measure it this way, since this sticks out a little bit, it is 4.5 inches. Same thing about going up. It's roughly about 4.5 inches going up. It is made of a plastic. It's pretty heavy, actually, to tell you the truth. It is pretty heavy. Now it's just a matter of waiting.